Hi, this is Winnie with Next Level Board Games, and today we're going to unbox Oros, a game by Brant Brinkerhoff and published by Ash Games. So let's see. This is a pretty good size box. It's like maybe 1 3/4 of a regular size games. Let's see what's inside. The first thing you might notice, I don't know if you can see it on the camera, but let me see, I'll try to show up close. There's actually a design in the background. It looks like winds blowing of the box. I don't know if you can see that. That's actually a pattern on the box. So that's kind of neat. There's a lot more to it than what it just looks like. And then underneath, it's designed on the inside. Okay. Rule book. Wow, here's a symbol reference guide that leans. There's going to be quite a few we're going to need to reference. Oh, but these are all like if you're playing solo. So there's that. Anyway. So decent amount of pages, but it doesn't look like tons of tiny print. So maybe not as much. It seems like, looks like maybe a lot of explanations. Like if you look here, these are pretty good sized pictures and just little sentences. So even though there's quite a few pages, might not be overwhelming. And I think there was some tracking achievements in the back, which I'm seeing more and more and more now. I think that I saw that in Calico and also in Rolling Realms. I should have mentioned this is the deluxe version of the game. So there are some inserts that I think are not in the standard. So got some little pieces here. So these are volcano pieces and they're leveled, or labeled, I should say, 1 to 4. Here's some 1s. They're like maybe a little bit of like a pinkish color. Like really kind of a light color though. And then we've got these brownish ones. These are 2s. Tiny bit different of a shape. And then 3s are these reds, which I would have expected red to be number 4, but there's those ones. And then last but not least 4, which now this makes sense. These are really dangerous. Number 4s. So kind of like a dark brown with red print. A little bit harder to see the number, but not horrible. Okay, so there's all those. And then these are going to be little tokens to put something together, which I'm always horrible at, so that'll be fun. Okay. I don't know what that is. Okay. So a bunch of punch out pieces. So these are like bunch of different island tiles. Not sure what all this is. Let me move this. Not exactly sure what all these symbols mean. Again, I have a feeling this is going to be my best friend playing this game. So we find out what some of those are. Lots more island tiles. So apparently these are foresight tokens. I don't know how those are used, but so those are more island tiles. Again, lots and lots of island tiles and foresight tokens. Same. These are all pretty much the same. Then these are going to be the player mats. Which I might keep that, actually. So there's 4 different. In this game, you play as a demigod. Oh, interesting. I wonder why there's a little hole there. Huh. You play 1 of 4 demigods, and you're trying to get your people from some remote island to the mountains. It's sort of the premise. So let's see here. Get rid of those. Apparently these, I think these are supposed to be double-sided. So yeah, so you can play in solo mode or like standard mode. Really pretty colors. Got like a purple, a reddish, orange, a blue, and a green. So those are neat. I don't know. Oh, there's little holes on the other side too. I'll poke those out later. I don't know if these are all the same. Probably. Yeah, it looks like they're symmetrical. So there's those player mats. Then this is the Ascension track. So I think it's tracking how you're playing. Then we've got a map. Let's see. I'll come back to these here. You notice everything is very like outdoorsy and bright colors, and so this is double-sided. So here's one side. And they're labeled A, B, C, D. So I'm guessing those are maybe where the players start, since it talks about you being kind of on a remote island. Okay. And then the other side, oh, is much bigger. Okay, so maybe for a shorter game and a longer game. That's kind of nice. So when you're going into it, you probably might want to start on the other side, and then later you could come on the side. A little bit longer game, maybe more complex, and or if you knew you had like a specific time limit. Which I think I'll just leave that there. Okay. So I'm going to come back to these. My trusty sidekick, who is also really good at putting things together, unlike me, just figured out how these things work and why there are so many of these pieces. And I don't know. So I do remember seeing something about getting an upgrade to dual layered boards. And really what we did is we got flat like mats, but then they go between these extra boards and you punch out all the little tokens that can be punched out, which I haven't done yet. So bear with me. It's not going to be perfect, but you'll get the idea. You'll put these together, and that's where the little tiny black things come, is to putting something together, because after I stopped the video, I realized I didn't put anything together, or even try or fail. So this is what it's going to look like. The front side, where you have the little dual layered pieces, it's because you're going to pop out all these pieces here, and that's going to reveal everything that's behind on this. And that's why there's holes up here. I couldn't figure out, like, why does that have holes? And then when you flip it around to the other side, this is why the other board, I haven't put it together yet, obviously, it's going to be for the solo play. So also dual layered on both sides, it's just in a different way than you might have expected. So that's why so many pieces. It's really actually not going to be that many pieces once you get done. Okay, I'll have to figure that out. Let's see what else is in here. Okay, here's the Jade Jaguar. So this is for, interestingly enough, instead of first player marker, last player marker in this game. So a little bit different. And then, let's see here, all kinds of stuff. Oh, well these look, let's see. I feel like this book is actually for like the standard and not for the deluxe, because, so then there are sacred site tiles, and there's 3 of each type for each player. So let me just show you. Oh, interesting that these are yellow, blue, orange, and green, when I really thought the colors were like a orange and a burgundy and a blue and a green. So I'm guessing it's actually like the contrast color. So here would be the orange color and here would be the yellow. And I thought this was going to be burgundy, but I'm guessing it would just be a lot to be if it were all yellow. So that's interesting. Okay. So if I were the green player, which I will obviously be because that's my favorite color, I would end up with, okay, only so much room in my hand here. 3 of each of these types. So 3 of each one of these. So the littlest one out here is, I believe, a temple. And then I think this is a shrine and this is a monolith. So I'm going to have 3 of each one of these types. And each player will get these. So I'll probably separate these by color because it makes it a lot faster to start the game. Or in here. Let's see. And these might actually be per player if I had to guess. Oh yeah. Oh, that's really cool. Okay. So this shows you what actually goes in these. There's a little icon deep set down in here to show you what goes in each little spot. So each one of these would probably be for each player. So like I was just saying, I could put, oh wow. Wow. So one of each set of the sacred site tiles, one of each of those fits exactly in the bottom if you puzzle piece it in there. So there's all 3 sets of my sacred sites stacked up, and they all fit in there perfectly. That's like a perfect fit. So that's what those are going to look like now that I've made a mess. Let me just move that aside. And then there's supposed to be So some of the little dudes I was talking about here, let me pop one of these out. I believe these are what go in here, because if you look at the little icon, it looks just like it. And then, I'm not sure what the circular thing is. Oh, duh, right here. Okay, so these, which I'm gonna guess maybe this goes on, where did it go? The ascension track? It seems like these would fit on here. So I suspect that's what these are for. And there's one for each player. So I'm gonna put that here. Once again, it fits perfect. So this is like really well done. I love when it comes together so well. And then these tokens, so these are for some sort of a mini expansion. Hopefully that's in the book. I don't know where the rules for that are, but they're little tokens for a mini expansion. So there is probably a spot for these somewhere. I just don't know where. Set those over there for now. Okay, I'm gonna close this up because that's kind of how that works. And then there's, so one of these for each player, which is very cool. And then if I unload that, there's a whole bunch more stuff under here. So there's stuff in where it looks like cards are gonna go. So these are our followers that I thought I was running into earlier and that I put in here. I thought it was going to be this little cardboard dude, but I believe it's actually going to be these guys. Oops. So, followers. And then there's 8 of those for each player. So these would go in here. And again, they fit really well. Okay. Then, oh, there's one more thing. I keep putting that away. Then there's also these little pieces. They're called wisdom caps. And each player has 8 of these as well. So I don't know if they're related to the followers or if the followers somehow utilize these, but they have the same, you have the same number. So those. These tops are really snug and I don't want the pieces to go flying. I feel like I'm opening a bag of chips here. Okay. So now that's, I believe, full. I don't think anything else is supposed to go in there. So plenty of room to get those in there. So each player is going to have these same followers and the same wisdom caps. So again, for each color, the same thing. So let's have to put all those together so it's easier to get started. Then we also have our demigod standees, and these are like really thick. I'm trying to think of, well, anyway, next to my hand, I guess you can see. Each one of these is unique. And they're hugely thick, just so you get an idea of how thick those are. Really cute. So also, again, really unique. I like that. Same on both sides, but unique. Each one's unique. And as you can see, there's a perfect little spot in the box for them. As long as you get them in the right order. Nope. There we go. Okay, then last but not least, we got a scorecard. And I don't know what any of those symbols mean other than the fact that these are the different color demigods. That part's obvious. And some cards. So these are going to be for solo play. These are the automa, which you can use with, we showed on the back side of these. This is for the automa play. And maybe that's, I don't know why you would use different ones. Anyway, I'm not sure. Okay. So those, and then a whole set of cards for that. So this is probably going to be movement and things like that. And there's actually a set for each player, as you can see. So the blue, the greens, the what I thought was purple but is really yellow, and the orange. So that's what those are. So I'm going to guess that they're basically just how you play against the game and have it interesting. So there's that. I guess probably supposed to follow these symbols. So this one is here. One goes there. This one goes here. Here. And this one here. Okay, so there's a spot for everything, as you can see. And then I think that's actually, nope, that's in Oros. There's a double-sided main player board, a map. One is smaller than the other, which is actually kind of nice. I like the fact that it's not just like different terrain, but it's actually like bigger size. So if you want a faster game or a longer game, I mean, I'm guessing, but I think that is what that's for. Seems really smart to me. Really great inserts and well thought out single player type stuff so that you can put everything in one location, which I love. We do that all the time anyway. We break down the parts by player, so it's much faster to set it up. More inserts, a bunch of player cards. These are really nice quality here. And they're double-sided in case you want to play solo mode, which is really nice. A bunch of tokens for each player. I got all kinds of sacred sites and tokens, volcanoes, and I think that's everything that's in here. It's a pretty big box. There's kind of a lot in here, but a lot of it has to do with, I think, the really good storage of it. So it's a quick setup and a quick takedown, which I always appreciate. Thanks for watching Next Level Board Games.